On our paper, on the papers this morning, we're looking at Saturday Independent. The first stories, the first paper we're looking at this morning, and the first major headline here says exclusive breastfeeding. How millions of infants are denied their first vaccine. How millions of infants are denied their first vaccine. Rather says practice faces cultural workplace hurdles. And away from that story, we have the Bola will continue to drive economic transformation as World Energy Council Nigeria CEO. Article raises security concerns over mysterious credit to personal account that you can find on page 6 of the Saturday Independent. Osun election, analysts predict attitude of Ambo's godfathers could wreak his admission at Saturday's poll. And the Njem movie, Japan not the only route to success. Tana Adelano speaking there. And this one says, why I released another album at 72. Steve Black. On page 19, you get that story. Beyond arrests and rescues, the real test of police operations against violent crime. Osun Osogbo. Worshippers hail monarch governor at grand finale. Rather says many foreign devotees boycott annual cultural festival. Once you grab a copy of the Saturday Independent newspaper, you get details of this and a lot more. Now we take a look at The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper. Osun polls. Concern lingers over alleged intimidation. You can find that on page 8 of The Guardian newspaper. The Guardian weekend has environmental degradation. RMAFC orders sterling oil to compensate host communities. Wanty heads World Energy Council Nigeria. Dangote backs push for Nigeria's medical sovereignty and regenerative medicine. River Park Estate dispute now at international arbitration stage. Wike speaking there. Gunmen abduct farmers in Ondo, demand 100 million naira ransom. Outrageous, I must say. A very sad one. Outgoing ECOWAS chief applauds Tinubu, Nigeria for easing tension in West Africa. I hope such tension will also be pushed to Nigeria, some of the northern states bedeviled by kidnapping and insecurity. And here says an inmate portrait of Babajide Sanwo-Olu as governor. Abuja at 50, redemption song for Wike. Skills training opens new path for vulnerable children. Once you grab a copy of The Guardian Weekend, you get details of this and loads more. Now we take a look at the Weekend Trust. For some time now, the Weekend Trust have been scanty. I don't know, I guess that's the pattern, but for really some time now, it's been scanty. Not just the Weekend Trust. Daily Trust has really been scanty with their stories. But now let's start with the first major story here. It says, how Kano emerged the world's 9th most populous city. Interesting. Bida Lapai, the 70-kilometer road where motorists spend days. I am the smaller Adamofika. Page 13 has that story. How northern youths abandoned Okada riding for farming in Ogun. Beyond prison walls, the other side of Kirikiri. Alright, so that's just about it on the Weekend Trust. Once you grab a copy of the Weekend Trust, you get the details on that very paper. Now let's take a look at Saturday Punch. Saturday Punch. 13 die, 12 children remain in Kwara terrorists' den. Rider says 7 women lost babies in 6-month captivity. Survivor speaking there. EFCC boss in sack storm over Osun. Rider here says accord NNPP netizens demand Olukoyede's removal. EFCC independence faces scrutiny. I take that again. EFCC independence faces scrutiny. Falana tackles president. Commission froze 3 accounts. Commission froze 3 accounts. Documents showing that very one. Deadly crossings. How declining footbridge use turns highways into killing fields. Help! Mom died without showing me my father. Baker speaking there. Well, we can move on, I guess. There are so many kids out there that don't even know who their parents are. Ara Star denied visa over wrong certificates. South African envoy sharing that very one. And family questioned my son's paternity. Maltreated my wife. Artist Mr. P sharing that very one. And this one says, real reasons Tinubu expanded army divisions, military sources, sharing that very one. You want to learn more about all of the stories, and grab a copy of the Saturday Punch newspaper and get all of these details. And there's a story here that I skipped. It says, a dark week in entertainment as 4 stars die. Indeed, it's a dark week. We had a couple of sad stories on that very end. Once you grab a copy of the Punch newspaper, you get all of these stories. Now let's take a look at the Saturday Vanguard. On Saturday Vanguard, alcohol, Nigerian children caught in deadly trap. Nigerian children caught in deadly trap. 50 years on stage. 50 years on stage that the showcase lights up Echo Hotels tomorrow. Okay. Dagbemi to Tinubu, stop NFF elections. Why Atiku is worried over strange payments into his bank account. You can find that on page 7. Kwara Governor Abdul Razak eases judicial operations. And then the rider here says to deliver 8-story building with 70 offices, 12 courtrooms, conferences hall, library, etc. Still on the Vanguard, Kebbi Kwara and Niger abductions. 25 children died in captivity. Oh my good Lord. Oh my good Lord. This is really, really sad. Kebbi Kwara, Niger abductions. 25 children died in captivity. Rider says 12 youths joined terrorists army. Oh my good Lord. 12 youths joins terrorist army. Attack sad, regrettable. Governor Abdul Razak speaking there. Oh, this really, oh good Lord, this really got to me. A very sad one, I must say. Very, very sad one. 25 children. We're not talking about 5 children. We're not talking about 2 children. This is so sad. I've never come across a story on the paper that really got to me this sad. This is really, really sad. Another story here says, Osun decides I'll block leakages, expand revenue. Bamiji speaking there. Please stay with us. We'll go on a short break. We'll be right back.
And we continue with the newspapers. My friend Chris said the thing got to him. This is part of this business. You have the low times and the high times. But we continue. What can we do? The show continues. The next story coming from Vanguard is saying, and that was the one that got to my friend badly. 25 children die in captivity, said the lawmaker. Then the Osun State block leakages, expand revenue. Yebanji is saying that. And they continued, he said Bala wants what's that? Let me get clear.
Bala Wunti to lead World Energy Council
Okay,
Nigeria
that's
into
what
the new energy era.
That's about that. So the next newspaper is Tribune newspaper, Saturday Tribune. Scavengers attack Lagos Bridge. Stripes pillars of iron bars. This is so bad. We talk about that later. We talk about this story that Nigerians has gotten to this level of survival, you know. And on Saturday's Sun, the ex-Boko Haram fighter said, life in Sambisa, exposes life in Sambisa. There's life also in Sambisa. People live there and they organize themselves to fight. They told us we were fighting, killing for Allah. Ex-combatant, ex-Boko Haram combatant said, I fled 3 days to my planned execution. Boko Haram, a man. Over 100,000 insurgents surrender. 9,680 low-risk ex-fighters reintegrated into communities. That's the government saying that. They said they are low risk than be integrated into their community. 6 health center keep rural dwellers in agony. 6 health centers keep rural dwellers in agony. That is it. That's an irony. Distance can't stop true love. That's a Chichi Neblet. That's on the human side of it. Chris, that's all we have for this day on newspaper.
Yeah, I think what got to me here is the life in Sambisa by ex-Boko Haram. I think many times we don't know, the kind of orientation these people get. And education indeed is key, is very important. So imagine that they're educated wrongly, told the wrong things, and then they feel they are doing it the right way. That's why you come across people having suicide bombers killing themselves in the process of carrying out whatever mission they were assigned, because they were told that Allah will be somewhere up there waiting for them to receive them. They're fighting for Allah. They must have further many things happening in Nigeria, how the government is against them, and they just have to fight back and take back their land or take back whatever they are. So it's a really sad thing that this is happening.
If I don't know you, Chris, I will be saying, are you speaking from experience?
Indeed. Because one of the stories they are saying that they also recruited some youths.
What they tell us, what they told us,
Yes.
they were fighting for Allah, and then when we kill for Allah. That's ex-combatant, and that is one of the dangers of religion. Godliness is different from religion. Religion, like the Marxists said, is the opium of the masses. These are things that some people, that for good or for bad, are used to control the minds of people. That certain people under the influence of religion, not God, then they begin to act in certain strange ways that you will begin to wonder. And there's something that I've talked about when you talk about the first thing that came to me, it's if they go through this series of indoctrination, brain bending, somebody say brain bending and mind bending things for a long time. How long does it take Nigerian government to clear those radicalism in their head and then put them back to reintegrate them into whichever way you want to? They said low risk. How do you measure low risk of somebody who has witnessed, who has been part of it? I'm not doing comparison, but I make reference from the book I read. And the master book I've read is Bible. He said, no man having put his hand to the plow is worth the kingdom. Meaning, if anybody has tested whatever they call it, banditry, terrorism, and has been there for some time and doing whatever they are doing, with these people, ex-combatants and all this, what they say. Now, you cannot tell me, you cannot just look at them and say, by just mere talking to them, you say they are low risk or high risk.
Yeah.
And then reintegrating them is where we have issue. They need to go all through whatever it takes for them to get to that level should be doubled in re-radicalization. Otherwise, we may have been finding ourselves going to plant seeds with squirrels in our bags, because whenever anybody has tested certain things, it will take time to go out of their system. And not to talk about this kind of radical belief that you say, what do they really tell these people? That somebody will pack himself with a bomb, enter into a public place, blew everybody up, and then tell with that belief that once he does that, Allah will accept his soul, and certain level of virgins will be kept,
waiting for him.
And then some of the things you are denied
his
here
name will be on the history book.
You go there and then somebody who is telling you this, the irony, somebody is putting this on your head for you to go. He has not gone to lead the way, because if I say, so watch me do it. But somebody will sit somewhere, be quietly nibbling on your mind until he makes sure he gets you fully, and then set you on a wild goose chase of self-destruction. And he will be counting that as part of his achievement on earth. If you are a religious leader, lead by example. Like I keep saying, I'm a Christian. Part of what made me a Christian, Jesus Christ led the way of sacrifice. That he even sacrificed with his own life. But then what we find here is that people who are being set are agents, not the leaders. Let the religious leaders come, pack themselves with bombs, go to the street, blow themselves up, and let them write the note. I did this for whoever they want to do it for. Then let their followers begin to do that, instead of setting you on why. And they choose soft spots, young minds, that they will so much radicalize to the extent that they want to move on.
Have the fire.
That is it. So that is not God. That is religion. And that is the low side of religion. And I make bold to say it anywhere. Any religion, be it Christianity, be Muslim, be it Gordianism, be it traditional African worship, that can tell people to go and kill fellow man, I have comma there. And that's where probably my level of religious affiliation stops.
Okay, so let's look at another paper. Let's
just
go.
Moving up that way. We have just done Sunday Times.
Yes.
I mean Saturday Sun. Let's move on to Tribune. Scavengers.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I saw this last night.
Yeah,
we're just laying the background.
Okay.
Our people will see the video and we will going to talk about it.
Yeah.
That the level of hardship and hunger increase in Nigeria has gotten people to the level of scraping up bridges, taking up the pipes
rods
inside them, and then
you're getting the cats. You're getting the cats
okay.
of the back.
Let's talk about it later.
So let's look at Saturday Vanguard. Alcohol. Nigerian children caught in deadly trap. I also ran into a video where I don't know if they were Nigerian children, but they were all smoking, like kids in their 10s and 8s and 7s and 3s, something like that. Like they were like 10 of them or 15. They were just much smoking, and I was just wondering what in the world is going on here.
You see such viral video has filled the air everywhere. See school children. I think this is school uniform children. There's mostly shisha. They were all girls packed in their school uniforms in a corner, smoking shisha, doing so many things, and just feeling high, and was having all this orgy, and just we have seen such shots. We have seen this is life, and that is not about alcohol. Or I've been. That's what shocked me in Lagos. Those days they were doing cyber. You go and pay 30 minutes to use cyber cafe to do. I got into a cyber cafe in Lagos, and I saw a boy that is not up to 7 years who paid for cyberspace and sat down in cyber cafe browsing. And curiously, I didn't to pee the other side to see what this young man is doing.
I guess you were impressed. I guess you were impressed initially. You were impressed.
I did this. What about Nigeria? Nigerians can overdo things. Don't we have all that? We have a template that says don't sell alcohol to young people. Why should we allow a 7-year-old boy to sit down in a cyber cafe, buy space, and if you look through what he's browsing, dangerous satanic sites, they get involved, and that's by the time this one will finish and come back home, the parents will say, welcome boy, you have gone to school. He was in a school uniform in a busy day around 11 o'clock in Lagos. Now imagine such children in joints Where some devilish Nigerians we want to sell market. If you ask them, they say na survivor. Somebody who you know is not up to the age of discernment will come to buy alcohol or sat in your joint drinking alcohol or even come to buy it. You are talking about alcohol. Talk about the abuse of drugs, tramadol, D11, whatever, 8. There are so many of those high analgesics that are keeping people high. There are people walking, codeine, cough syrups. It's good. You see, they pack them, people sell it to them, and they go get high. Now imagine children who can't even control themselves, they can't make decisions, getting high on other substances. Yes. What can they do? At that point, they become, you know what they call, how do I put it? They now become bomb in the hands of the devil because there's nothing they can do. I was telling a friend a story. If during those days you have armed robbers who are mature men, they come into your house and they say, go and cook oha soup, and then let the madam go and make gare. They start confidently with their guns in your house. You'll be begging them, they will be listening. But when young people on high and drug, that's why you find rampant shooting. And because those days, the criminals don't go to kill. They go to collect whatever they need in the house. But when young people get high on drugs and they have access to arms and all, now you find how Nigerians are being killed. That's this generation. They call themselves Gen Z. I don't know what gen he belongs to, whether it's X, Y, or Z. But you guys can profile us as abandoned property. But your generation are sitting on keg of gunpowder.
The federal government of Nigeria introduced mandatory drug and substance integrity testing for secondary school and tertiary institution students, managed in collaboration with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. This National Public Health Directive applies to newly admitted students at the point of entry alongside periodic and random screenings for returning students. But the thing now is that, will it also not be rigged? Corruption.
No, you know, this thing has come up before. What did I say? Let me just, before you make your point, please. If you want a foundation laid, start from the beginning. Most of the people in National Assembly are on drug. Most of the parents are on drug. Most of the people in civil service that are bringing this law are on drug, substances. So where do Nigerian children get access? Is it not adults that sell it? Is it not adults that start a use and they see it? Children are impressed it. So go ahead with it. So before we even say who is making law, beautiful law, you are being selective. Have you, while being selective, have you gone to do tests for the people of National Assembly, the teachers? Have you done it for the people in House of Assembly? Have you done it for the governors, local government chairmen? Have you done it for people who are, because when some of them react, we now know that some of them are not normal. They are on drug. Because they don't put things together, they just talk anyhow. And some of those things are things we need to manage. So drug is an issue. NDLA are doing your man's job. But then, how even the NDLA has worked is also a point of discussion. Because, like I keep using this allusion, you cannot cure madness with pepper. So when you say the dog, you know, a dog eating the bone put on his neck, go and carry drug put on the neck of some NDLA staff. If they are not well motivated and well organized, what will that be? Is another bomb. And some of the drugs they've seized over time in Nigeria, who is doing the auditing? Where are they? Are properties of drug barons seized? How are they managed? Are there accountability? Very clear way of dealing with this, so that people will see that when I see a fellow slave being buried, I will know this is how it's going to be for me. So if I want to get interested in drug, I'll be seeing how people are being punished, how whatever is their property is being dealt with. And some of them, if you are going to destroy it, whatever the government decide to do, but let it be transparent. But we have just given, all you hear is NDLA caught a woman with 70,000 pounds of cocaine. At the end of it, they dissolve. Over years, where did they keep them? Who did they give it to? What happened to those things seized? You only hear it in the headlines. That's all. Who is accounting? Who is auditing the NDLA and what they do what they do with the drugs they got? How do we trust that power in the hands of corrupt? Nigerians are terribly corrupted. So even whenever I say it's not that profiling. So even me, when you put so close to me, because once you put hand in that bad side, they must smell. So everybody has his own. But when Olu, Kalia Olu, one governor once said, what that means, let us be working and getting corrupt, but let corruption not pass the right things we do. Nigeria has gotten to the point where corruption is 98%, and the few other thing is 1%. Whatever is in between line, neither Nike corrupt or is 1%. So can we survive like that? Chris, let's move on.
Okay, let's look at Weekend Trust, how Kano emerged the world's 9th most populous city. Remember, Nigeria is still struggling with knowing her numbers, right? But the concern now is that if we keep increasing like this, how are we now? Okay, let me put it this way. When we do our budget and national budget and everything, how would you know? It's like being in a family. You know how many children you have. You know how much you put in to sustain them. So how can Nigeria comfortably say this amount to sustain each citizen in particular period? When
we have a guest now. You remember what the guest said? He has not gone out of our brain. Dan Olas, Chief Dan Olas, High Chief, veteran politician, a man of courage. He sat with us here and told us about when Nigeria, he just like, you know, he just being political by not calling Nigeria a failed state. But he gave us all ramifications that made Nigeria a failed state. So I can always put there that shot and said, Dan Ola said
Nigeria is a failing state.
Yeah, so when you cannot even know how many people in Nigeria, so that they say, if we sell 1 barrel of oil and make $80,000 or $800 or $80, and then we put it together, we put money out of it to cater for 200 million, 100 million, 400. Who said it is political? You have not counted the local government, but you can count a 44 local government municipal Kano as the highest. What happened to Ibadan? Who is counting? Nigerians have politicalized everything, and it is sad. Kano is big. But for political reason, remember how politicians have always used Kano as the fodder to kindle their rigging pattern of elections in Nigeria. When elections is holding everywhere, everybody, they will delay releasing Kano result. Because they put it in our mind, the Kano is the most populous. How many of them are voting? So you say Kano is now the most populous city in the world. Which data? Where is the Nigerian Population Commission? The last that even some people are still quoting, 1963. Chris, I wasn't born then when Nigeria did. Every other one they did later was charade. Nothing you can count on, even as a Nigerian researcher, a student. You have to depend on what the World Bank told you, what IMF, all these organizations, USAID told you about Nigerian population. That's what you quote. You can't quote Nigerian Population Commission because they go there. Nigeria cannot count itself, and they tell you Kano is political. Quote me. It's not real. Because if you are saying you are teaching a child there is stone, that there's a frog on top of a heap of stone, you have to be practical. You go and touch the frog will jump up. But you touch stone will remain what? It's a child. You now see the difference between frogs. That's what the proverb said. So if you are talking about Kano being the most populous, I'm not doubting that. Where is the figure? Is it same Nigeria? The figure I quote here every day, 240 million. Nobody has come to ask me, where did I get the figure? It is what I hear say, market talk. They say Nigeria is about in 2026. And we have people in National Assembly going home with over 30 million every month. With SUV, what over 1 billion naira? And people cannot feed once a week. and they can't even count. So what they are telling us is that Nigeria is for us, but God for us all, but Nigeria for some people. And it's sad. It is sad.
It is really.
Because when Dan Olas came here and mentioned that again, I nod my head and I said, now I know why we are not going to make any headway. Where are you going to start? At the borders, our border is the most porous border in the Nigeria. Go there, carry anything, come in mass, come in. People, because they don't even believe in anything, can, with one kobo, sell the birthright of Nigeria just to survive. So Nigeria has gone that level. So you come and tell me here, I sit down here with my experience in Nigeria, that Kano might have land mass. When every trailer loads from Kano coming to Port Harcourt, these people that are using to count figures are being moved out of Kano because of they know why they are moving. But they have occupied all part of Nigeria and still say Kano is in. How many of them, where did they get the figure? How many of them voted in last election? And that's kind of thing. There are certain things we are supposed to be doing to be using. If you go to do national identification, if Nigerians are sincere, we should be looking for data. Because once you click on the internet, because you can't get ID of Nigeria without saying your local government, your town, and your place, your birthplace, your mother, your father. If you don't have that and they are not Nigerian, then you're not in Nigeria. So if you are giving ID cards to strangers for political reasons, you come and overnight you just announce it, people will start moving with it. That the newspaper has written Kano is that's Babadash. Come with figure in 2026. We should be dealing with data.
This thing you just
empirical data.
This thing you just mentioned remind me of when I went to do my what's it called, my passport. The people there, they didn't want to attend to me because they thought I wasn't a Nigerian because my name is Lele. So it was given to them. They felt it was Ghana, one of those countries, maybe Chinese or something. So they had to call me to come. So I got there and they saw me. I was looking on fair. Say, "Are you sure you're a Nigerian?" I say, "I'm a Nigerian. I'm from this particular state." I tried to explain all of that. They didn't believe. They had to call someone else that's from my state in that organization to come to attend to me. And the person was still asking if I was a Nigerian. At the end of the day, the person wanted me to pay. Now, it's concerning. Why I'm bringing this up is that some of them did not really come from a good heart to really find out if you're a Nigerian. They are doing all of these things, bringing out the hurdles for just for them to get money from you at the end of the day. Maybe they felt they've seen a desperate person that wants to japa, because anybody that comes to get a passport, they want to travel out, and they don't want anything to hinder your traveling process. So because of that, you have to pay.
Look at the testimony you gave, Chris. Is it not shameful for a country like Nigeria in 2026 that you will come apply for Nigerian passport? Somebody will look at your face and say, "Hey, are you a Nigerian?"
What's your local government? Speak your language.
But we will say it's not even about that, because some of these strangers speak our languages more than us. Most of us are not at home. I say by now we should have what they call very tangible empirical evidence to prove who is a Nigerian. You don't even need to go anywhere. One or two clicks.
Data, just check online. You see everything you need to see. Clear.
The thing will come out. So if the person is fake, and then you want to even if you want to be corrupt and take money, you have proven a point and say, "Oh boy, you're not in Nigeria." Now let's talk business. That's different. I'm not supporting talking business, but at least that we threw everything to the wind. And that come in Nigeria, if you ask for passport, imagine how many people they ask you. They say, "This one look like he come from Hey, this one look like he come from Kano. Hey, give him passport." If that's the criteria of giving passport in Nigeria, then why are we asking what is happening to us? How many people are holding passport of Nigeria, giving on sentiment the way they want to give you out? Instead of saying, I said, I don't even need to tell you whether you are sure, because data will show how sure you are in Nigeria. And if it's here said, the people give room for corruption, because even Nigeria's system, whenever they are doing it, anything we want to do right, we still give room for people to exploit, because corruption, giving good policy in the hand of corrupt people, they will always find somewhere to tear the paper. If it's a very plain paper, they want somewhere to stain it so that they will be telling you they'll buy fluid to cover this stain, and they will chop money. My brother, leave matter for Matthias. Let's move on. EFCC boss in sack storm over Osun.
Yes, I was thinking when we go into our conversation
with Osun.
Yes.
But the headline, let's just mention in passing now. We can go back to the story as one of the trending stories. Before you get to the trend, you know I can't wait, but let me obey you. If it's in a sane society, and the president said somebody embarrassed me, are we going to be still talking about whether you're going to are you sacking him? He's in a row to be sacked. He would have gone home. For the president to come and say you embarrassed me and didn't know what you do and whether it's true or false, because you as good as your boss say you are. So if the presidency, just before we get there, is sincere, this would have been they would be in the past tense. Oh, they eventually sacked this man, or this man resigned. That should have been the story. And for him to be sitting there, we're talking about this.
And the next ministry, and the next ministry will sit back and think twice before he does.
Another scandal is loading. So let's move on. Another scandal is rolling in there.
Okay, moving on. Let's look at Saturday Independent. On Saturday Independent, exclusive breastfeeding. How millions of infants are denied their first vaccine. Practice faces cultural workplace hurdles. I know we talked about this. Was it on Thursday?
Are you sure it's not what you said that they are reporting here? Because it's almost exactly what you have said, Chris.
You
know you're interested in this breastfeeding thing. Because each time I say it, your face you come with smile. So you love breastfeeding, or which one you do? Is it the feeding or the breast or the milk?
Maduka, I'm just concerned, how about most of these children,
I can see.
I have a soft spot for children.
No, I'm pulling your leg so that you re-emphasize what you are concerned about.
Because just like I earlier mentioned, how parents should also be in the forefront, be a supportive system, to mothers. I think gone are the days where breastfeeding is just left for the women. The angle I'm coming in is, husbands supporting. Some husbands, some fathers wouldn't want their wives to go through this process because they're afraid of the falling breast in quotes. No. Now the
If you don't want the breast to fall, when the wife is feeding the baby, hold the breast for her. Is it not support, Chris? The thing is that we don't need to dwell too much here because we gave almost 1 hour to this issue, and we had a very beautiful woman, a very knowledgeable expert in this, and she touched on these practices, cultural and workplace hurdles. She mentioned all this, and we are talking about Chioma Odo, the head educator, School of Midwifery, the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, Tuku. They can always go to our site to revisit that because it's already trending. It's already on our YouTube. That's wonderful. She did justice to that topic. Osun election analysts predict attitude of Ambo's godfather could wreck his ambition and Saturday polls. I don't know what that means, but when we talk about Osun
look
election,
at this article story. Article raises security concerns over mysterious credits to personal accounts.
See, why are they not making mistake of crediting this? When you talk about it, I said the people when they chop together won't chop themselves. They want, before article goes, where to God, I don't know where this money is coming from. Somebody will be roping him into to make it. So he will, because the campaign has started. Before article finish clearing this mysterious, miraculous accreditation of money into his account, 2 or 3 weeks will pass, and that would have been eating into his ambition to be Nigerian president and the campaign, because the campaign should be up now. But if what article they thrown in article's corner is to begin to say, hey, to God, I don't know about this money. I beg, not be me. I don't even know how can people be credited. But me and you are here. We have not eaten breakfast. Somebody is denying. Let them make the mistake of crediting this kind of money.
I'm also concerned. Like, is this another political stunt or something? Because
that's what I've explained to you.
If money is sent to your account and you don't know, what happens to calling your account agency, find out from them to source where this is coming from?
This kind of people, they are account officers. And the banks are working with the figures they can't control. They just do. You can imagine. Okay, if you are the account officer of any of the banks, is it the bank in Dubai or is it the one in Nigeria for Atiku Abubakar? and you say you are the account officer, and the first thing they will ask you is that I got hey Chris, yeah, my account officer for sure you are the account officer for any social bank. My name is Atiku Abubakar. He say yes I know. Check for me why they credited 5 billion naira into my account. I don't know where that money is coming from. You think that's what you should have done?
That's what
and then coming out to, but that is not the kind of, in Nigeria, this is not the kind of issue you settle with the account officer, especially when you want to be Nigerian president.
Right.
You know, when such money land in your account, it's not what you and the bank will clear alone. Because if you watch a bird, when a bird is flying and he starts flapping his wing, you know that it's going to perch in a very nearby tree. So when the politicians are flapping their corrupt and the controversial scandalous wings, they want to perch somewhere. Let's watch, Chris. It won't be far before we see where they perch. Because if it is not these people that always strap bag to be pounding fufu, watch out. If they're not interested in carrying the fufu to put in their bag, that's just what, because you don't know what is in their mind. You cannot see the human mind. But I say, they made the mistake, they credited the wrong account. Credit my account now. If you hear me making noise, just know that I'm the cause of one Nigerian wahala. Just credit such money in my account the way I'm feeling now. And of course, you, my colleagues, know why I'm saying this. So let such account, they are crediting the wrong account. Credit all Nigerians. Such mistakes should be done. 240 millions who have not eaten meal for the last 1 week. Credit the account missed by accident. At least somebody told me. If you're a Nigerian man and then suddenly 1 million drop in your account, they say, hey, if it's a mistake, most Nigerians are sincere, especially these poor people. They will come out and say, hi, so big money dropped in my account. They say, hey, but you know the funniest thing, that such money that drop in your account, the person to take it back full without dropping some for you, you know the person must be the senior brother to Satan. So when any money, that's what the allusion I was trying to do. My friend said, once the money passes through your account, some drops will drop, and then the other one goes back. So that's what the mindset, the psyche of Nigerian civil servant what breeds corruption. They just mentioned that once you have a budget, like Dan Olas told us, if you are the chairman of INEC, and they gave you, for instance, in 2023, 309 billion. To organize the election, and you are in charge, chief executive officer, you control the account. Then he asks a question, which Dan Olase asked, I have not forgotten. Can you ever be poor? And then where will you keep your allegiance? Somebody put you in a position, give you such a budget to control, and you say you don't know where your allegiance is, then you are a liar. Because the system has clearly planned to fail. And they know what they want. They don't need to discuss it. Nobody need to call you. Once they make you, put you in such position, give you such amount in Nigeria to control, you go to your church or your mosque and do thanksgiving and say, God has remembered me. After that, they say a reception follows shortly. When you go there, you'll be talking how patriotic you are. You know, God, how hard you have worked. And suddenly God has raised you and make you chairman, not the phantom organization or president. They made you chairman of one credible. And then you begin to dispose things. That is Nigeria. And they know, let us not play on ourselves. We know these things. The idea is, who will bear the cart?
Who will bear the cart?
And who will lead the way? We are waiting for leaders to lead the way. Incidentally, they are the dogs that are eating the bones hung on their neck.
Talking about leading the way, Maduka, hopefully this should be our last story we're looking at. On the Guardian weekend, the Guardian weekend here says, gunmen abduct farmers in Ondo, demand 100 million naira ransom. My major concern is, are we now going to stop agricultural practice? Because it seems no place is safe again. If you go to the farm now, most of these farms are in the forest, like bush area, and many people are now scared to even go to their farms. What happens to the economy? What happens to food supply? And what happens to harvest? It's affecting. If you go to the markets now to get food stuff, you see how things are expensive. You can't buy pepper now. Go to the market. You see pepper of 500 naira is like 5 seeds.
Chris, you don't need to overemphasize it. I'm not suffering from ulcer. I eat pepper every day. Yeah. My wife go to the market and I see what you see. Yeah. And incidentally, me and you market from the same source. We are not marketing from VIP markets. We have VIP markets where people pack jeep. And if you are a small man, asking how much are they selling this paper? Somebody inside the jeep that didn't come out, we say put it in the boot. They will be packing things in the boot and then they transfer money and go. It's not me and you that go and look for paper that used to put 15 naira. They now tell you it's 500. For you to make soup to serve one person, you need 1,000 naira paper alone. Now, just imagine what other food stuff. So let's not go far. Why am I saying this? The issue of bandit and terrorism and what harm is doing to our society didn't start today. Chris, this is over 2 decades. And it was systematic. First, to cause massive fear so that everybody who living under fear, they've gotten Nigeria. Psychologically, every Nigerian is afraid. Yeah. That is achieved. The second one is that if people are still going on education, you allow education to go. Hey, it will be difficult to radicalize them, because if you are telling them, if a child has gone to nursery school and see life, you are calling him and said, the person will tell you, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. I want to be a president when I grow up. Then if you are asking me to go and strap, so those ones are not easily radicalized, educated ones. So minus, so education is a target. Then you come to the second one. When people really are well fed, if you want to fight them, they fight back. So what do you do?
Strength,
keep
energy.
Them, make them hungry first. Just extend that fear. Go back, rape their women, behead some, catch their men, deal with them, and they've achieved that. Nigeria, with an arid agricultural fertile land of over, let's say 3/4 of the land we occupy in Nigeria, Nigeria is put as a food insecure country. Chris? So what else is left? What are you talking about? This is just the beginning. If what happened in the recent past continue in the recent future, Nigeria will be begging for food. That's Wahala never started. Because where the real bandit and terror will come, when people begin to eat themselves in the street.
And
there was a biblical hunger story of where a woman, they got so hungry, then the 2 women, one said, let's kill my child, we eat first. When we finish, you kill yours. And people will be reading it as something that happened 2,000 years ago. You know how Christians will want to live in denial. They will say Jesus 2,000 years ago. That 2,000 years may have added up to 2 million years, but they keep referring to 2,000 years ago. If you go back, you find that it was more than that. That's what I'm saying. Nigerians live in denial. Nigeria is not at home, Chris. Our agricultural sector has failed. If you add up what we did ourselves, you add up what bandit and terror did to our agriculture, you put that they know that our agriculture is gone extinct. Then the educational sector, that one is on the front burner now. They started. Even the name Boko Haram that was told, I don't know, Chris, whether you hear outside or not, they say that the book is not accepted. But the same people use AK-47 made out of to kill. So I don't know, and they use cars and all. So and the education is the result of whatever you're using, and they want the education to stop. So after you use those things, nobody should use them again, or whatever that means. Is about this psychological issue that we are having when a religion become agent of destruction. Because when you ask them everything, even when the operations are going on, some of them they videoed, they are calling on the God they worship. They're calling and shouting the name, that kind of thing. And that makes you to stop to wonder, is this same God that we all believe in? Or do people, because of sake of religion, manufacture their own God that they worship?
That suits them.
So you get confused. You don't even know what to do. It doesn't join. Many sectors of economy is going down under bandit terror, corruption, lack of patriotism, because a lot of things affect hunger, hardship. So it's a systematic decay. And of course, the apple will always begin to spoil from the head. So when the leadership are seen by the people as corrupt, when the head of the family begin to struggle for jollof rice to put for children in the plate. What do you expect the children to do? One of them, who courageous enough, will use the plate of jollof rice to do cap, use it to cover his head, and then case closed. That's why we cannot stop blaming leadership, and we expect that anybody who want to lead in Nigeria should know the challenges of leading Nigerians and the expectations. It has never changed. Since I became a Nigerian, we have always expected that, when they say this leader is coming, it's like people will heave sigh of relief. Hey, let's try again and see. And we have tried, married as wives. As Nigerian people, we are wives who have married several husbands. We know, we can tell you which one is better. So, there's no need. Like Igbos will tell you, you can't tell Onyuno, a member of a kindred. You can't tell his story, you just tie clothes, make it a touch ground. The person know how your leg is. If you get bow leg, your neighbor know. And if you get leper or scratches for leg, you know. So no go tie clothes over your leg and become the booger for person who sabi your neighbor. No. And we know ourselves. Some Nigerians know these politicians even before they put their poster on the wall. Some people know them. They come from kindreds to communities, from community to villages, from villages to just like that. They know until you get to local government. People know them. They have names. They have parents. They have ancestors. They have people you can trace. So when we begin to say Ibe Malezioku, when we begin to be bragged, not to say no, say what we know, or act the way we know it, that's Ibe Malezioku. When you see truth being suppressed, then bribery has taken place. That's what the Igbo say. Ibe Malezioku na akazu there. The akazu is the one they do. That's the literal meaning of akazu. When you're supposed to take something like this, you are taking from the bag. That's akazu. That's bribery. That's bribery in Igbo is akazu. So Ibe Malezioku akazu there.
All right, thank you so much, Maduka. You've done justice to the stories.
We did. Don't push it to me so that we're responsible for you. We did justice together, Chris.
All right, so we'll be going for, of course, the short break. We'll come back and look into some of the stories, the major stories that we'll be dwelling on this morning to, learn one or two. Stay with us.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signaturetv. News in your pocket.
Welcome back. On our trending story this morning, we want to look at the Osun State coming elections for who is going to be the next governor of Osun State. So as the Osun people wait for August 15 election, Afrobeat star Davido has warned that anyone planning to interfere in the Osun State governorship election not to attempt it. He gave the warning while speaking to journalists ahead of August 15 election in Osun State. Davido said elections should not be treated as a do-or-die affair, accusing the opposition of creating that impression. Davido is the nephew of the Accord Party's governorship candidate, Ademola Adeleke, the dancing governor. His main opponent in the election is Bola Oyebanji, All Progressive Congress, APC. Let's see what they say at the Davido said at the press conference and the campaign going on.
I understand the tension and emotion surrounding this election, but I urge everyone to remain calm. No political ambition, disagreement, or election is worth the life of an Osun son or daughter. Let us reject violence. I'll say it again. Let us reject violence, intimidation, provocation, and most importantly, destruction. And to our daddy from Imo State, I say this with respect, sir. I have heard rumors suggesting that there are moves to interfere in the Osun State election or use the state as a political battleground to prove a point. I do not present these claims as facts, but I appeal to you, sir, to use your influence to promote peace and allow the people of Osun choose their candidates freely. We have mutual connections, and I have a deep connection to Imo State. My wife, Chioma, is from the state, which make this appeal more sincere. Please, let Osun remain peaceful. We say it again, please, let Osun remain peaceful. One more time, let Osun remain peaceful.
Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo in a video was seen calling the Osun State Governor a dancing governor, saying he has done nothing for the state apart from dancing. Let's take a look.
Before somebody sign paper, he will dance. Are you not tired? For 4 years, this man has been dancing. Before he take breakfast, before he drink tea, he will dance. I was asking my friend, and I said, I can't even remember when I saw this man in our general meeting in Abuja. Before he even entered the plane, he will dance. Before he got there, we had closed. So he won't know what we are saying. He doesn't know the reality of today. If they bring money, chop that money from them, but don't vote for them. They said they have money to spend. Is that not so? Just collect the money, keep it in your pocket. That man is Obaseki's friend. You know we kick Obaseki out of Edo. So we have to kick his friend out of this place too. Edo people chop Obaseki's money, but they never vote for him. But they kick him out. A governor that is not working, the best gift for him is to send him out of that state. If he's not working, what business does he have here? Does he have any business? Abojo! On the 15th, what are we doing? Are you not tired of dancing, governor? This is the man. This is the man that stands for development of this state. Your schools, this is the man that will develop your school. He will build road for you with concrete pavement. Road that will last for 80 years and above. The reality of today is somebody that will change it and make development for Osun State. What are you looking for? Is it not development? Somebody that will bring about prosperity to this land. That is the person we need. And that person is humble. Let me tell you something. The road I was passing, my tire was shaking. I said, is it the dancing road or the dancing governor's road? They say it's the dancing governor's road. But I want you to enjoy good road. And the man that will give you good road is humble. Are we ready? Or are we ready to make?
All right, that's the Edo State Governor Monday sharing his thoughts. You know, my own concern is that we all have different personalities. Before we became governors, I'm using you. Let's assume we are all in politics now. Before we became whatever public figures we were once an individual. We were once someone. So you calling me out that I'm a dancing governor, I don't think that is justifiable in any way. And I even liked it. We are tired of people that we don't see they are real who they are. They just allow fame and being a public figure to disfigure who they are. If you go outside other countries, in the foreign countries, you see these presidents, prime ministers living their normal life, playing golf and doing them. And if this governor, in quote, loves dancing, loves music, can you allow him to be him and do what he's doing? Should that be used against him? And even in one of the videos where Davido even made a statement, he was like, what is wrong being a dancer? What is wrong loving to dance? What is wrong being a governor that loves dancing? And I love it. I think that's his vibes. I think that's what works for him. I may not support if you are not doing what you're supposed to do as a governor. That's not what I'm saying. If you are a governor, you're expected to deliver, to do the right thing. I'm not campaigning for him. I'm not endorsing him. It's not in my place. I'm just saying that being a public figure shouldn't change who you are. Being a public figure shouldn't change the fact that you love dancing, you love listening to music. We see the likes of Barack Obama that goes on his platform to list a couple of artists he listens to in the year. He does that. He posts it on his platform. That is who he is. These are what gets to him. Was it not which day that the what is it called, the UK, their king said Davido was among one of his favorite singers. Listen to one of his songs, Kante or something. They have their individual life, their personal life, what works for them. But politicians dwelling on things like this to make caricature, just to drive a message, just to discourage people, I think they can do better.
Political jobs are welcome, especially during campaign in Nigeria, because we always have a way of welcoming when they say when evil has stayed over time, it becomes culture. So we have over time begun to accept these what they call I consider useless jobs, political jobs during campaign, because what is the issue? If you are talking about Osun State that has not tarred roads, that has not built hospitals, provided welfare for the people, it will be campaigning with the issue. If you are talking about that and you left your state, a whole state business, for almost 24 hours to go to Osun to throw jabs, and when you got there, what you are saying was a dancing governor. Is he not enough of dancing? That's it. That's what I'm saying. Nigerian politicians are in themselves empty. Some of them are empty, and it pains me that it's even the empty ones that make the greatest noise. On a very, 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 very objective level, if we put Osun State the way it is now, and Edo State, because Edo State is older than Osun State, is it not? Just put two of them together on level of development. Leave the governors, whoever. Can you see where people are more safe, more happy? And that's what you are looking at, welfare. So if you have left your state, we are expecting that if APC want to do campaign for the governors who want to come in to replace incumbent, they will go with their best. I'm not profiling anything, but I don't think out of all the APC governors in Nigeria, that Okpebholo is what APC should put forward to go and campaign. Because is what the Maibo people will say, I want to will be a wampum. You know, a frog will see another frog, you say you are frogging. That is not better. What you expect is use the best for campaign. When you bring it, say, hey, imagine, for instance, I'm just giving us an allusion, and like you said, we're not campaigning. But imagine where if Governor Oti of Abia State is a member of any political party, they want to use him to go and campaign in other states. If Oti stands, he said, people of this state, I come from Abia State, and I am Governor Oti. Look at what I did with the bus terminuses in Abando Umuahia. Look at what I did with the roads. Look at, you'll be calling them and you'll be pointing like I used the adage before. Now you are trying to show a kid about frog lying on top of a heap of stone. He will be pointing at empirical evidences so that you see, do you want a governor who will be like me? Then vote for this person. That will be campaign. But this one is total emptiness. And by the way, like you said, if the people of Osun State wake up and their governor dance for them and they are happy, you ask, can you tell somebody, look at your mouth when you are eating your own meat? Leave the Osun people to their dancing governor. And then that's what you know, the issues that are rising with the Osun State election, there are many. The EFCC rushed to close down the account of Osun State government. Yeah. Within 24 hours, even less, the president came out and said it was an embarrassment for EFCC to have acted that way, and ordered immediate defrosing of Osun State account, saying that they acted in error. That before then, Osun State has gone to court already in Australia because they have Attorney General who is bears allegiance to the state governor. Of course, he is the Attorney General of Osun State. They've already prepared their papers and gone filed a court case. Well, whatever made the EFCC to look at a whole sovereign state in Nigeria, for whatever gave them the confidence to treat Osun State the way they would treat any common Yahoo boy, it's left for Nigerians to see, because imagine if EFCC has gotten away with this, which suddenly, I don't know where the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria got that courage to now begin to look at things objectively. Or we are still watching out at the while it's going to come out and quickly countered it. Why at this time? Why EFCC? Why the president? And why is the central ruling government always contradicting itself? EFCC is an agency of government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, being managed by a principal officer who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Why does it mean EFCC, even if it takes certain critical decisions, do not take clearance? Is EFCC, I didn't see independence in their name. Because, you know, Mmadisi Adenko, Nkedinko Adisi, the sharp knife doesn't have a head. Why the one that is blunt, now in head, still there. The agency of government in Nigeria that have independence in their name are battling with independence. Why the one who does not have independence, to the acronym, is acting in alacrity and go as far as freezing the account of a state in a federal republic of Nigeria. There's nothing Getman no go see forget.
Now the governor of Osun State is suing EFCC 2 billion naira for damages, which we don't know how that's going to turn out. And also we have the likes of Atiku, reacting to this very one, saying that this has threatened people's thoughts about EFCC. How independent is EFCC at this moment? Can EFCC actually boast that they're not interfered or they're not corrupt with this kind of reaction? And many people are asking the president, you ordered the EFCC to defreeze their account and they should go back to court to get their order. Which court? Because the Osun State is saying there was no court, there is no paper. So which court are you now asking EFCC to go to?
It baffles me, Chris, because so many questions are answered. Retinue of questions.
And you earlier mentioned...
Can EFCC defroze a state account without court mandamus? So they present. At least, let's give an instance. Can police arrest certain individual without warrant? So a whole state account that have both the civil service, payroll, that is the major account. Is what EFCC, if you had seen some suspicious account, because I know it's not only one account that, but you went to freeze the major state account that has salary. That means if you don't know, you're not the cause, you are cost. EFCC has stepped into, and I think they were experimenting with what people were saying. With this experiment, that 2027 has a lot of things to offer to Nigerians. Accord Party, NNPPs, netizens demand Oloyede's removal.
Yeah.
In a sense society, when the president come out and say you have embarrassed me and you are working with the agency of government or federal government, if it's in a sense society, Oloyede would have find himself working in Alaska. He would have dressed warm a long time and
resigned,
go to work in Alaska before the president even wake up to say, you did this, who ordered you, or whatever. And if I said, there are creative ways of doing things. If the central ruling government of Nigeria really care about the people, there are certain ways they will handle things and people will be, that's what earn them respect and trust of Nigeria. Because Oloyede is still sitting there and we are talking about what he did was wrong, how he embarrassed our president of Federal Republic of Nigeria,
so to speak.
And is confidently sitting there, and EFCC independence faces scrutiny. Falana tackles president. These are what we hear. They are usual words. And then, so I do not understand.
My major concern is if you as the president, you're embarrassed, by someone's action.
Yeah.
What happens to a statement? You're suspended. Just as you directed him to go back and undo what he did, questioning the timeliness of that order, looking at the election around the corner and how much damage it would cause to that process, and you don't want any challenge. Looking at that incompetent action carried out, looking at that questionable character carried out in quotes, what stopped you as the number one man in Nigeria to say, for this thing you've done, to serve as a lesson to others are going about carrying out whatever they're carrying out, for whatever purpose they're carrying out, you're suspended indefinitely? That action alone, even if many fingers were pointing at the government interfering in stuff, people will start to sit back and start to think twice. True, this man is not behind this thing. No, he's not even aware of this. So where did he get his directive from? Okay, he has learned his lesson. The next agency that will want to interfere or do it wrong will sit up and start asking themselves questions. They'll start to consider, let me not do the one that the next minute the president will either suspend me or get me off the seat. But no action is being carried out.
No action.
How will this stop?
When you say action, when the first child take a walk, or begin to walk, then the second one, you can even think about running. That's a high Igbo proverb. When the first son, you bought 2 children, even the first one never stand up to think about taking steps or first step to work, and you expected the second one to start running. That's an error. If the scandal of PFIPC has been dealt with, and Bajamila is still sitting there, then another one came up and he said, so if that's why I explained that when you talk about how government could have handled it, it sounds as if we are advising. We are Nigerians, and we are talking about trending headlines and what people have said. I watch a lot of all my colleagues in other platforms, what they have analyzed. There are so many questions that have risen that have not been answered. And this is not a country where people ask questions and get answers. So you can ask the question, when you don't get answer, you try to answer it yourself. What you make out of it is what has kept us in this turn situation. We are just running around from a circle, not moving forward. Because if you answer the first question, we take a step. I say, okay, let's answer the second one. But the first question, since we have been asking, nobody has answered it. And the worst, they will have attack dogs who will leave the substance, pursue shadow, and go around saying other things for deviation and distraction. We expect that the people who speak for the presidency should have reacted with this development in Osun State. But what do we hear? The PM media, whatever, spokesperson, press media. What's the name of the man?
Okay, Musa,
No, not Boala, the other one. What he said, the one that reacted at EFCC, the frozen.
Okay,
it was quick.
Onanuga.
That will tell you, we find the central ruling government working at par. That's against each other. Because if the government, the person has reacted and go put it on his X handle, Onanuga, how can president come back and say, meanwhile the speaker, the spokesman, the spokesperson for president has reacted 1 hour after EFCC froze, defending that action. And the president is coming 24 hours later, or less than 24 hours, to say the whole thing was carried and was embarrassing to his face.
I hope that speech of the president, he also reposted it too. The one the president said he does not, so he's not in support.
They are selective about what they post, and then that's why I'm saying they keep every day demarcating the presidency with people around him. These are things, and we don't find him taking what kind of decision we expect him to take, and that's why whatever they talk, we say, who knows what even the man has in mind.
You know,
because if someone, I can't see anybody from the Jagaban I know. I don't know anybody who has embarrassed him over time that has stayed. So if the embarrassment is a sweetheart embarrassment, that's maybe why I can say smiling, Chris, you embarrassed me. That one, that are sweetheart embarrassment.
Maybe they didn't know Nigerians would react the way they did. They thought it's one of those escapades that would just be swept under the carpet.
And then what did they do if Nigeria reacted? So what has happened?
Maybe that's why Onanuga was excited that yes, my boss has given a directive. They've frozen the account, posted it on his platform, and the next minute the pressure was much, and like, elections are at the corner, we have to be careful.
The president said it's embarrassment, so he didn't say he gave the order. He said I'm embarrassed. He didn't say he gave the order. So probably because Onanuga also has a portion of giving orders. Probably it's Onanuga that gave the order. Onanuga would have read the mind of president, gave the order. When the president got a better explanation of what happened, and he said, no, this is embarrassing. Cut down, bring it down. So whatever happened, it's Asorok matters. But we say, if you have a brother who is a madman dancing naked in the street, you'll be scratching your, what do you call it?
Brow, temple.
Your brow will be scratching. One no, you know about you. When you have a person who is, if your relation is in a, African theater, a theater in the round, the dancers are there, people surround, and one of the other dancers is your relation that is dancing badly, you'll be feeling uncomfortable. So, because we love the presidency and the people working there, because we're interested in the success of the presidency and the principal officer, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's why we are worried. Because otherwise somebody will say, what in be on our business? That's why we are talking. Can it be done this way so that we'll be more proud of you? We're already proud of our president. But certain negative decision that people working for him are taking is what is making us to talk. Not that I want to be president. Not that I am a member of any political party. Not that. It's just that I am a member of the fourth rim of the estate.
Remember the statement. Remember what Onayeko said about them being worried when they went for that conversation with the president, that they are worried that the president is not aware. He was in shock when they were telling him about the situation of Nigeria, the poverty bedeviling the country and what have you. And he was like, no, things are getting better, these are that. Their major concern were the people working with the president is feeding him with what they're expecting, what he wants to hear. They're not telling him the actual truth.
One of the things is true, which we have said it here, everybody has said is cocooned and shielded away from reality. But he is not the first person to be in that place.
Right.
I remember Babi Yabo, OBJ, said when people wanted to put him in a pondo and carry him at the back and they're dealing with his mama, he said no. Late in the night, he will go on unmarked cars. And even his security will be worried. He will go on unmarked cars and drive around Abuja. He will be chewing his guru and be asking, who is the owner of this house? They say it's your minister. Who is building this one? They will tell his minister. So when he come tomorrow, you know OBJ, how blunt he can be. If you come to greet him and want to double, he say, hey, no, ole. That's his style. He will not give you the data of where you are building house. And you come here, we're talking about patriotism. He will give you everything. So he begin to find out by himself. Why won't Jagaban do same? You cannot be Nigerian president and you want to behave like Adam and Eve. When God asks, he said, hey, God, now Eve give me this job.
You gave to me.
So we gave you the presidency, Jagaban. Nigerians voted for you. Act with it. No excuse. You can't tell us, hey, EFCC went and gave order. Hey, I didn't know, it's embarrassing. Onanuga spoke what I didn't ask him. The Buala went to defend what I didn't ask him to defend. It will not work.
The minister's not telling me.
The buck stops at the table of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCFR. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Jagaban. That is in control. And that, you know, when his name Jagaban, when you hear it, it sounds bem, that he's in control. But where the center is no more holding, and you begin to wonder, no excuse. And that's why we're worried, because we trusted that he would do this job, and that's why we voted for him. So at this point, it's not more like the people who are working with me are not doing enough, and then they will ask you, what did you do? So I think that's enough for Osun State, EFCC, the Adele case, the Oyebanjis, the APC, the Accord Party, whatever that is working out there. Nigerians are watching out for August 15. What the remaining one is about to finish. Like my people say, here follow to Agulabu. You know.
All right, so we'll look at the next story. Where we're talking about the scavengers. It's on the paper this morning. We're looking at the scavenger story where a couple of things happening. I think it's not just a Lagos thing, it's in many places, and we are yet to see some of the videos. Hopefully we hope and pray that as this happens, other states, there will be videos showing some of the escapades, or how would I put it, of these people. We'll take a look at the video where in Lagos State, a bridge was badly destroyed, by some scavengers. We don't know if it's coming from some unidentified scavengers have allegedly vandalized the pillars supporting the bridge linking Alakeja and Festac in Lagos State by breaking the concrete structures to remove the embedded iron rods. In a video circulating on social media and seen by a platform, police officers were seen clearing shanties erected beneath the bridge by suspected scavengers. Speaking in the viral video, an unidentified man alleged that several of the bridge's concrete pillars had been damaged, with the reinforcing iron rods removed. He called on the relevant authorities to intervene urgently to prevent further destruction. Let's take a look at the video.
I want to call your attention to this. This is the bridge that was constructed all the way from Alakija to link inside the First Start. These scavengers have started removing iron from the pillar that support the bridge. You can see it, sir. This is what they have been doing. All the pillar holding the bridge, they have started removing the iron. They break the concrete
pure
and they started removing the iron. You can see, this is where we are now. See the way it was. This is the way it was. This is where we are now. It is very disturbing. How can scavengers be doing this in Lagos? This bridge was constructed by FHA about 5 years ago. But see what it has turned to become. Within the next 2 years, what they would have done to this bridge, I mean, it is imminent collapse. You can see. See it, sir. See the beginning. So as we progress, see how they have dug into the reinforcement of the bridge. Okay, you need to call attention of your authority to this. It is extremely bad. They use billions of naira to construct this, and see what scavengers have done. And this is what we are doing on a daily basis to make sure that this does not happen in Lagos. This is it.
You see that video, and we don't know what to call this. I don't know if I should call this wickedness, because many Nigerians are poor. Many Nigerians are being affected by the situation of the economy. Many Nigerians are going through all of these things. But, you know, it's like the saying, are you going to cut off your head because you're having a headache? So what would you call this? In what sense can one justify such an act? Destroying government property.
Chris, this property is not government property.
Our property, right?
This is
Citizens'
property of
property.
the public.
Yeah.
This is Nigeria's property.
Yes.
This is where it's not government that pass through the bridge, either under or on top. It's not government that drive through this bridge, Chris. That's what they call self-immolation. That's killing oneself to hurt yourself. This is suicide. This is suicide. But then, my father said, when you are talking about the man who has the wound, also talk about the flies that follow him about. This, what we have watched, Chris, is a sign that more dangerous things. You know, when a hunter go for hunting and was able to kill a dog, if that hunter sees a man, can kill. If he sees a tiger or lion, he can kill. Any hunger that made the people to go and start scraping the pillars, scraping with hammer, scraping and pulling out rods, iron rod used to hold pillar where their families, relations, extended and nuclear can pass through with trailers passing under. And they build shanties under that same, meaning that even if we nibble on it and it collapses, let it collapse on us. For anybody that has gotten to the level, that's the most dangerous part of hunger and hardship in Nigeria. Which this government, if they do not react quickly, I am sure for those who have decided to scratch, to scatter pillars of bridges in Lagos, you see the extent they've done the damage every day.
Yeah.
And some of them may be under drug. So if they manage to get one rod, they'll cut it, go and sell to have their, or even if to eat, whatever, they're making them do that. Such people are the most dangerous people to stay with. So, but then what do? The same people see SUVs bought with billions of naira, given with convoys, protecting people passing that road, the top of that bridge, either under or top. They've had how much Nigerians have borrowed over time. They've had how people are paid, how people in government enjoy what they are talking about. And they don't even have a roof over their head because they live in shanties under the bridge. And the only asset they have to Nigeria. Only national cake available for them is the bridges. For them to even think about it, imagine how they can manage over time what it will take you, that solid pillars, to be able to nibble on it until you get to see the rod inside it. How many years it will take a normal human being? That will tell you the level of frustration. I am drawn to tears.
I'm really glad that you mentioned this. You brought this up. How many years? This is not done in 2 months. It's not done in 1 day. You know, it's not done in 1 week. It also tells about the negligence of the government to protect properties. Remember, one of the major things of the government, life and property. Now you build a structure and you forget about it. No monitoring team to check around, to monitor these properties, to monitor these things, how they are faring, what is done with it. Even though that this video, that's what I keep saying. Nigerian politicians always been reactive. When things happen, that's all of a sudden, that's when it becomes very popular.
Nobody is reacting to this. It wasn't a politician. It's a citizen journalist.
Yes, it's a citizen. Yes, but now if you go online, you see reaction from the Lagos State government. They've now sent a task force. They are going under the bridges to arrest people. They've arrested about the story I'm seeing here. They've made about 27 suspects they've arrested so far, and then the government has put a call to find out he has ordered an immediate technical assessment to evaluate the full extent of the damage and check if other bridges have been similarly compromised. So that means all this while, this is not just about the governor of Lagos State. Is a norm in Nigerian politics where governments will build edifice, will build beautiful structure and go home and sleep. They will not follow them up. They will not employ people that will patrol and make sure that these properties, these buildings, this structure, that they will spend billions on national budgets, billions that will cripple the state to construct, to put out there. They will not take responsibility to manage it. It is after videos like this have gone viral that you see the government sitting up and checking these things out.
It still has to be reactionary. Don't worry. Look at how Nigeria's situation works. A creative person goes to find out what is sumptuous project, something that is, when they put it forward, a lot of money will come out for both the benefactors and the malefactors. The people who are going to push the project, the people who will receive it as contract to go and do the kickback they will give to everybody involved. When the money is huge, Nigeria will rush and they will do it. Once it's done, they will be looking for another. So Nigerians are interested in big projects. They don't care
maintenance.
They don't care how it bears on the life of Nigerians. As far as it's big money, a lot of money will come out for them to share. After sharing that, since the construction of this bridge at Lakija in Festac, you ask me, who is in charge of bridges in Nigeria? Federal Ministry of Works. Who have offices? Do they have office in the zonal offices around Lagos, as Lagos is, to look at their projects? As far as this bridge is concerned, the money has been eaten, shared, nothing. Even when somebody noticed this nibbling and finishing the bridge, compromising he'll be waiting for it to be huge, so that when you submit budget, it become huge.
Money will come out to fix.
You see how potholes. We used to have FEMA, Federal Road Maintenance Agency. You will see a small pothole that you use with a penta of colta. You cover it. They will leave it. The thing will grow to become an ocean, cut the road into pieces, and affect so many other things. That's where project is done by FEMA and the Federal Ministry of Works and all those. That's how Nigeria is done. So even when you notice that people are scavenging pillars, holding bridge as heavy as a Lakija bridge, they will leave it. Let it get to a point where we come now and do stock oyibo, we strategize, we framework, they will use those nonsense corrupt oyibo to make it huge and put a budget. And then the people who pass the budget will be looking for who will come and see them. They will to push the bill. When it gets to National Assembly, before you know it, 120 billion for the maintenance of Lakeva Bridge. That's when it sounds. Once it sounds boom, boom, bills. That's all Nigerians hear. But the way it is now, everybody's on his own, and that will tell you. Our leaders are beginning to disappoint Nigerians. That is not what they told us when they are going. It's what they tell us when they get there. Because we are not talking about coming back. They will tell us one thing to get to there. And then when they get to the destination, they begin to sing another story. Start telling you how backward, anything you talk, you are in opposition. And they describe you as scrupulous, disgruntled. These are the kind of word you hear when they hear, why is this thing not working out? They will tell you, that's the voice of disgruntled and the enemy voices working against who? These are the same people who came begging for vote to go and represent you. When they get there now, you say, why is Alakija Bridge being destroyed? Because if you take the time that thing take to get to that level, you know it wasn't one day. But then, like what my father told me, for any thought a man has thought to make him to commit suicide, that thought was not taken. Decision was not taken in a day.
In a day at all, it wasn't. According to the State Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, he said that investigations revealed that the suspects allegedly removed iron rods, steel reinforcement, cables, and other components critical to the bridge's structural integrity.
They begin now. You see how it's making it look. By the time the man finishes, there will be
and then
the maintenance.
Then there was a hunt, to capture these people, so to speak. And then so far, maybe at night, scapegoats. That's exactly what came to mind. One of those people that sleep under the bridges, they must have been those people 27.
Scapegoats.
Just for the media, for the public to feel like action has been carried out.
The Apakara
they will not stay there.
The Apakara Tingoma and the scrap people are businesses that are thriving in Lagos. Remember, it was in Lagos that Kata Bridge rails, heavy reinforced metals, vanished overnight. These are what scavengers will cut. Go to the same Lagos market, sell it. The same people in the same Lagos will sell it and resell. Even some politicians and people in leadership will buy such a rod for construct their houses and use it for whatever they need. Have you said anybody? Then when they come, homeless Nigerian youths who are after heavy bouts of drug, we sleep under the bridge. Are the people who will pay for this. When you catch them and then put them in prison, because nobody will come.
Yeah, they will
just put them in prison. When they say, then you are now putting the Nigerian prisons or what they call it, correctional service under heavy challenges. They will open their door because once the court say remanded, they are without paper.
And most of those people, their families will not even know they've been carried.
Well, if somebody has been sleeping under the bridge in Lagos for how long, it took whatever is happening there, nothing. None of them has reported. Is it not all like a network? What are you going to get out of them? Put them in there. You said Nigeria will be corrupt system. Will put them on the ATM awaiting trial. Put the budget for awaiting trial in a prison or a correctional center that's supposed to take 600 people to comfortably serve their jail time. You will put 5,000.
Awaiting trial will turn to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Awaiting trial of 5,000 in a capacity of 600, a prison of 600. Then awaiting trial of 5,000. The same Nigeria will feed them, clothe them. So imagine how the network and the danger of corruption, what is built, breeding more corruption and satanic activities over time is expanded. So that's why nobody goes to a correctional center and come out. Few have been corrected, but majority will go to correctional centers and get it decorrected. They get it decorrected instead of correctional. And you mentioned something so that it won't be as I'm speaking their mind. One of these days, we'll bring them back to tell us how correctional they have been correcting these things that are happening.
How they've been faring.
And no, because what happened now, Lagos has gone on scrambling. Anybody you arrest, I follow. I no follow. If you can't pay your way, because I follow get price in Nigeria. I no follow get price. Oh, you no follow 20,000, 50,000. You follow, you go reach office. All those things are money. Person when no fit pay his way.
Becomes the victim. Because the person has been doing it.
Police detention. Because the police detention or cells cannot handle them, they will rush to push them to to the court. The court, to the magistrate, if he manage to do face like this, they say remanded, case closed. That's all you hear. So Nigeria have a way of building on, giving itself pressure, and pressure. Chris, if you want to solve the problem of, let's say, of destruction and patriotism of Nigeria, first solve hunger. The hungry man is an angry man. The rate of unemployment, I know I don't use the data again because those data, Nigeria doesn't have data. Nigerian Bureau of Statistics won't tell you the rate. The one that we get will come from World Bank, USAID, all those development sectors, which will always paint Nigeria so bad with data so that they will have something to come and do it. But we have not even helped ourselves. But imagine that level of unemployment of Nigerian youths, and talk about Lagos, where every vehicle you enter in Borno, Sokoto, is heading towards Lagos. You pass through Oshun everywhere. As you are coming from Southeast, Port Harcourt, or Aba, moving towards Lagos. Everybody is going to Lagos, land of opportunity. And when it fails, you sleep under the bridge. What will tell you if it's the day Sanwo-Olu will come to scamper for those who have been tampering with the bridges? Then you go into jail like that. That's how some Nigeria opportunities. So the unemployment level of Nigeria, the hunger and hardship level is what is making Nigerians now begin to eat themselves.
So my concern now is patriotism. Do Nigerians still have that? Because at what point did it get so bad that most Nigerians don't even, they hate the fact that they are Nigerians. They get so upset and angry looking at the condition they're in. You see a graduate, even with PhDs, does not even have a job. Now, when these bridges have been scavenged or been tampered with, of course, there were citizens. There were people
who are seeing it. Yeah.
Who would call who?
You.
Who would even care?
Yeah.
The people doing these things, most of them are even angry with the government. So to them, that's why I earlier mentioned government property, which I understand is for all of us. But to them, since it's not personalized to any individual, it's a government structure, so to speak, they don't care. Let them feel it. They want to hurt the government and they don't have any spirit of patriotism in them.
It's in Nigeria that you hear this kind of story. A government that engages stakeholders, that talk with the people. I use that word a lot. I love it.
The people.
They talk with the people, not talking
to the people.
Not talking to the people. Nigerian government at all levels, local government, states, federal, talk to the people. If they have been talking with the people, that's when you talk about telling people about how patriotic they should be, how whatever the public property they have is theirs, how even government will build a bridge and have a community effort of this on a bridge. If you not see anything or hear anything, make on a bridge. So the people are even taken into confidence to see this bridge as their own. They will be, if you see anybody saying our bridge or government saying our own, if you see anybody pasting even poster there, they will say, hey, don't paste this on our bridge. That they begin to own it. Nigeria, government will even come to a community to do a project of 800 billion. The contractors will come with Chinese to come and do it in your community, and when they finish, they will go with the granites. They will carry everything and leave your community and leave that project. So who owns it? But if the people are brought in a certain level, you have town hall meeting, stakeholder engagement, gatekeepers, women leaders, religious leaders, all of them one way involved in what you are doing. They own up things. But as far as Nigerian position is concerned, you give a contract to your father-in-law or your brother-in-law or relations of your village who will register a construction company in 3 days and get a project of 800 billion. That is when you know that the Isimpin and Apampi is revolving around themselves. Nobody's. Any other external person who want to look in there is going to be destroyed. So they do these things, and you ask me, why is Nigerians not doing that? For how many times will a man, if you are living in Lagos, the hustle and bustle, where you have commercial sex workers, how many times will a man go and visit a commercial sex worker after receiving the service of commercial sex work, you come back and say you don't have money. Allow me to go today. You go. I say don't do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow you come back, the same person, the same customer. You say I don't get money today. That's what Nigerians have done. Nigerian politicians have made Nigerians not to have any trust for them because they have distilled them over time. And nobody believes in them again. You see, not even the legitimate constituted legacy government that would say one thing, and you are saying, we are coming tomorrow. You are waiting for them to come. They will fail. In 5 months, they've not come. When you ask them, they want to justify the delay and say, you know, government will turns slowly. We have to. These are when you say, I'm coming, and the government people look around and they see you come. You try it once, try a second, the third one they said when these people talk, they will come. Now he told me about the joke about the ENUGU carpenter. You know, he was cleaning his wood with all those things they call them. I don't know what they call. And the people were asking him, Mo Okoye, what are you doing? He said, the ENUGU girls are promiscuous. How can you say ENUGU girls are promiscuous? He was cleaning his wood. He said they are promiscuous because if they promise you, they will not come. You see how the man's meaning of promiscuity. Now, if the Nigerian politicians and leaders have become promiscuous, if they promise you, they won't come. That is my understanding why Nigerians are not patriotic.
Okay, so now let's look at the infrastructure in the network. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project is currently the most expensive road infrastructure undertaking in Nigeria's history, accounting for over $13 billion. Now, we hope the federal government, the state governments will also have maintenance plans for that structure.
Okay.
Because not just what you're experiencing with this Alakeja Festac Bridge, where you have a edifice and the next minute you forget about it. It's not to put out billions into a project, and once the project is done, so the media people will do their job, you know, put it on all their platforms, and you'll be hailing you, and then they clap for you. The next minute you forget about it. Are they going to be having people to be patrol team that will be looking out for this? Will there be maintenance plans? Not just inner structure, not just the whatever, the road, just like we say in the video. Will there be maintenance? Will they be painting it? Will they fill it up? It is a common thing in Nigeria. I don't know about other countries.
Without
properties are always forsaken, abandoned, and not taken care of.
When you say Nigerians have lost their patriotism because of the way government, that particular project has been fingered as not passing through the right channel, due process, but it has been awarded. It didn't go through the government acclaimed the way they put the template of acquisition, procurement in Nigeria. That particular project at 13-point-something billion didn't go through. But that's not where I'm going. I'm going at patriotism. If you want to do the coastal highway, and then the environmental impact, do you know that almost all the areas hitherto not being hit by flood, there are viral videos that people are cursing under their breath the Minister of Works, saying they just were interested to come and take the road through and then diverted all the floods without proper channeling. And all of them living in the states there. There's one viral video, one man was cursing, he was doing the video by himself. All their houses, everything were being swallowed by flood. That's one. With such person, with such people, you come and tell them, suddenly we live here, we don't have flooding. Now suddenly flood is come. Nobody has explained to you. But because the government does not explain anything, whether they are right or wrong, somebody said, it is that road they are constructing there that's causing this. The man will quickly agree. And then tomorrow, when you come and talk about in Nigeria, the man will come and say, hey, he bring us his chest to receive the bullet for Nigeria. Zebediah said, foul. They can't do it. They can't. So, a lot of our actions, or our inactions, directly or indirectly, by action or commission, has cost us to lose the patriotism of Nigeria. And these are few of the things we have spoken today. Chris, do you have water? I've spoken enough, and I think we can take a break.
I guess we'll take a break and maybe get a cup of coffee, coffee and just clear our throat.
Even if it's coffee, anything you call it. We can take as far as it's, you know, something that we can swallow.
Right.
Something we can swallow, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll come back for retrospect. For those of you that may not have met up some of the conversations we had in the week on the Signature Morning Show. Retrospect will help you to understand and learn. And of course, it doesn't end there. You can go on our platform, YouTube, to get some of the videos, some of the programs. Watch them and learn one or two as well. Stay with us as we'll be right back.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us on Signature Television. It's been an amazing time to do this with you. We look forward to doing this with you again tomorrow from 8 to 11. My name is Christopher Lele. Good morning.